Hello and welcome to another edition of the Quality and Practice Minute. In this edition of the Quality and Practice Minute, I discuss another CI tool. I call these segments Tool Talks. In this Tool Talk, we'll discuss SMED, or Single Minute Exchange of Dies. SMED is a manufacturing-based term for the lean idea of minimizing downtime in a process. In a traditional manufacturing process, a die is a part of the machine that helps to mold a part. Changing a die requires the machine to stop producing parts. Some amount of time and resources are devoted to changing the die, then a restart period where the process is dialed in to make the next good parts. The idea of single minute exchange of dies is to minimize this downtime because it's non-value added. We'll start with a visual example of SMED. Before you see this video for an example of SMED in a non-manufacturing environment, just because the description I gave is a manufacturing-based one does not mean that those of you in an office environment should stop reading here. Read on, because SMED applies to almost every process, regardless of the product that is produced. It does not matter if that process is transactional, front office, back office. SMED applies to many of them. So from what we've already discussed and seen, the general goal of SMED is to reduce non-value added time, or NVA, associated with changing over from one value-added activity to the next value-added activity. If we consider this general goal, we can find many opportunities to use SMED in our office and transactional process. An example might help illustrate. Suppose we have a process for completing a sales forecast. Value add for the process is the end result, the forecast, and all of the steps associated with it actually moving that forecast towards the completion. Some of those steps might be sales forecast is entered, known demand changes from their customer, Salesforce changes are consolidated to a global forecast, business leaders adjust forecasts for general market conditions. There are many more steps than these, but these are good examples of value-added steps that move the forecast toward completion. Typical NVA steps in this process might be something like administrator corrects file errors before releasing for revision, review meetings for updates and adjustments, and publications of forecasts to the ERP to start demand planning. Looking at our NVA step examples, we could apply SMED to a couple of these to reduce them or move them off the system. Correcting errors is definitely an NVA activity, but if errors are present, it is necessary activity to ensure a good forecast results. Maybe we could establish an offline process of file review that goes on outside of the forecasting process and ensures that when the process kicks off each month, the files are error-free and can proceed immediately to the sales input step. This first step of SMED is called converting internal setups to external setups. Using this strategy, we take process steps that were conducted during the execution of the process and move them outside of the process. The second step of the SMED process would be to reduce the internal setups that remain to a minimum. That idea might drive us to reduce the review meeting activity to a minimum required to move the consolidated forecast towards completion. While the example used above may not speak to you in your particular office or transactional situation, if you take it as an example of how SMED can be applied outside of the manufacturing floor paradigm, then to reduce and eliminate non-value added time from any process. For more information on continuous improvement tools and processes, you can take one of our short workshop courses at qualityandpractice.solutions, or for more of a customized approach, contact us at info@qualityandpractice.solutions. Thank you, and see you next time on the Quality and Practice Minute.